What is up, though, Lions fans? It's your boy, Motor City Don P, back once again in front of your TV, in front of your computer screens, in front of your mobile screens, in front of your laptops, in front of your tablets, in front of whatever device you are watching me on. And you know this, the one thing is for certain, and three things are for sure. Number one is that the Motor City Cats are back at it. Number two, say we came to give you stats and none of that static. And number three, and perhaps the most important of them all, is that we want to make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. And you may ask, how do you keep your Lions news pragmatic? Well, it's very simple. All you have to do is smash that like button, subscribe, share. Let everybody know what is going on around here. And voila, just like that, you have kept your Lions news pragmatic. What up, though, to all the people that are tapping in today? I know it is a holiday in the States. For me, the 4th of July was yesterday. So while you are, out celebrating and hopefully not blowing off any fingers or anything of that nature, hopefully there was no news to come out about anybody. No, we're not just talking about football players. We're not talking about none of that. Anybody. Hope nobody blew off anything, because that we don't want any JPP situations. But shout out to JPP. He was able to bounce back and continue his career and play at a high level. What up, though, Mr. Lupe Lions? Great day to sign Big Z. You are correct. It is always a great day to sign Big Z until he's signed. And then once we sign him, that day was great. So we do have, as I said, my 4th was yesterday. There are no celebrations here in Australia, so it is what it is. But again, I will not be blowing off any fingers with any fireworks. Again, if you would like to light fireworks, be safe. Make sure they are not in your hands. There is no reason that you should have them in your hands. They should be on the ground, pinned in a safe situation, and you can light it and back up and then watch it shoot up into the air, and hey, everything is great after that. But if you gotta light a firework, make sure you are not holding on to it. All right, so we do have some things to get into. If you see the thumbnail, it says Detroit Lions in Honey Boo Boo. Hashtag if you know, you know. Ooh, Honey Boo Boo, back in business, better than ever. Ooh, okay. Some of you may know that, some of you may not know that, but I chose that particular title. I chose that particular hashtag and this particular player to talk about someone being back in business, better than ever. Ooh. Because this article that I have is from the doc, John Macaron, Detroit Lions on SI, friend of the program. Make sure you are checking him out and tapping in to Detroit Lions on SI. SI stands for Sports Illustrated, if you guys didn't know. Sports Illustrated was rumored to be dead, but I guess the rumors of their demise were greatly over-exaggerated. Okay. So they are back in a different capacity now. So the doc Macaron is on Detroit Lions on SI. He is the proprietor of Detroit Lions on SI. He's the main attraction. So they always have insightful articles and they always have insightful takes. What up, though, Tactical Sport? Did you get my message on Discord, Tactical? Let me know if you got it. And then if you did, I'll check it. But I shouldn't have to check it. I should have gotten a notification because my notifications are back on. All right. So anyway, we're talking about what the doc had to say about former Lions players returning to join the Detroit Lions this year. Now, I know what you're going to say. Jamal Williams, he did a thing, and he outpriced himself, kind of threw some dirt our way, yada yada yada. So we're going to talk about the reason why he could come back this season. All right, tactical. So he could come back this season. We'll see. But the first one, as my guy Mr. Lupe Lion 17 mentioned, is none other than Big Z. Says former Detroit Lions who could return in 2025. The Detroit Lions are always looking to upgrade their roster and add competition at various positions. There are several former members of the roster who could return to assist in areas of need or to bolster depth. Here are 4 players who used to don the Honolulu blue and silver that could return in 2025. And the first one, as we said, is the one who most recently did so, and the one who most of us, if not all of us, have difficulty understanding what exactly was the reason that he no longer wears the Honolulu blue and silver, or also the black. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Motor City Muscle. That's the name of the black uniforms, if y'all did not know. All right, Zadarius Smith. By far the most popular choice, the veteran defensive end would provide depth and contribute to a defensive line that is desperate to secure more sacks. Last season, Detroit finished second in the league in hurries, 73, but only recorded 37 sacks as a team, which ranked in the bottom third in the NFL. General Manager Brad Holmes has indicated the team has kept in touch with Smith's representatives, and the 32-year-old has publicly stated his desire to return to Motown. I will discuss that with you, tactical. I will discuss that with you. So Zadarius Smith, I would say, is a resounding yes. I'm pretty sure that everyone would welcome Zadarius Smith coming back. We need Zadarius Smith back, and we already know the reasons. Marcus Davenport, his health. Josh Pascal is not a pass rusher. Levi Onwuzurike had 3 half sacks last season, and we don't want to go into the season with that happening. So we'd love to sign Big Z. I believe that the comfort level of saying the Detroit Lions will win a Super Bowl rests in a Big Z signing. I believe that anyone who's out on this team for not whatever reason, but for the reason of the defensive line, anyone who's out on this team would come crawling back, okay, and going, hey, this team's going to win a Super Bowl this year. Big Z and Hutch, this team's going to win a Super Bowl this year. And as I've said before, the added bonus of having a Big Z and Hutch pairing is Marcus Davenport gets to take more snaps off. The more snaps Marcus Davenport has off, the more likely it is that Marcus Davenport will be healthy for longer into the season. I think him and Holmes are planning on him coming back after OTAs. I think you mean camp. Because why not? Yes, exactly. That's the point. So I think Big Z, I've said this before, he probably should be coming back after camp. He is 32 years old, right? He's been in the league for quite some time. And when you're older, you don't want to go to training camp. It's the way that it is. Of course. Of course. All right, we are back. Okay. So let's continue with what we were talking about. We were talking about Big Z coming back after training camp. For sure, I believe that that's when it's going to happen, if it's going to happen. And if it does happen, and we'll talk about something a little bit later, as far as, yeah. I lost the people that aren't used to the crash. But we'll talk about something a little bit later, as far as the concern level for other areas, which, I mean, I have to say, I understand the concern level, but I am not too concerned. But anyway, the next person on this list, I gotta pull the list back up. 1 second. So that's what happens when you crash. All right, the next person on this list is none other than one Jamal Williams. Now, I know this one is going to be controversial. Okay. Ooh, honey, boo boo, back in business, better than ever. Ooh. Hashtag, if you know, use the hashtag. But I'm sure most of you don't know. I'm pretty sure a lot of people know who Honey Boo Boo is, but they probably never saw the commercial. All right. So anyway, Jamal Williams is back in business, better than ever. Ooh, I don't know if he's back in business, but I do know that a popular player during his run with the Lions, the outgoing running back, did not find all that much success playing for the New Orleans Saints. Is it because he was an offensive line merchant? It's possible. After signing a 3-year contract following the 2022 season, the NFC South squad cut Williams after his second season in New Orleans. Back in 2022, Williams secured 17 touchdowns and 1,066 yards rushing behind Detroit's solid offensive line. The former BYU Cougars running back could be a valuable red zone option given the Lions offense scored points on just over 50% of their offensive drives last season. If more drives that ended in field goals were turned into touchdowns this upcoming season, Dan Campbell's squad could again achieve north of 13 wins. All right, what do I think about the Jamal Williams signing? We are bringing him in, hypothetically, so that he can be a goal line back. We got David Montgomery. Okay, I think David Montgomery, if given the opportunities that Jamal Williams was given, probably, would have broken that record. But see, David Montgomery splits carries with a guy named Jahmyr Gibbs. And then we've got Netflix, who's fine. Okay. I don't like bringing Jamal Williams back. Right. Tactical Sports says we good. Don't need Jamal Williams. We got to go line back. Right. And our goal line back's name is Broderick Martin. No. That was for you, Tactical. He might as well be a goal line back because he ain't really doing nothing at the defensive tackle spot. But I don't think that we need Jamal Williams. I think it would be overcrowded. Our backup running back is Craig Reynolds. And in order to get to Craig Reynolds, you got to get 2 guys not playing. I think that did happen once the season before last when we played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It was a Craig Reynolds game. But no, I don't think we need Honey Boo Boo to come back and be back in business better than ever. Ooh, okay. So thank you, Jamal, for your contributions. I hate the fact that you own the record for Detroit Lions touchdowns, not because you suck or you're unworthy or whatever, but any rushing record for the Detroit Lions should be held by Barry Sanders. I'm warming up to the fact that Jahmyr Gibbs could hold some. Okay, I don't have a problem with that at all. I would love for Jahmyr Gibbs to hold some. Pause. However, Barry Sanders is the default owner of every Lions rushing record, or at least he should be. So I don't like the fact that you came in here and screwed it all up, Jamal. Don't dislike you. Just don't like the fact that you have the record. But anyway, all right, let's move on to the next piece. You got to get that record above him. Exactly. So, Monty, you heard the man. I need you to get 18. Now, Jahmyr Gibbs had, 20-something last season, but it was all purpose, right? It was receiving and rushing. All right. The next person, again, who didn't really have much contribution to the Detroit Lions. This person is a former Georgia quarterback. Who am I talking about? Anybody know who I'm talking about? I say he didn't have much contribution with the Lions, but you know how I feel about one former Georgia quarterback whose wife apparently was taking liberties with his roommate in order to make him jealous. Am I talking about that guy or am I talking about somebody else? What do you guys think? All right. Okay. All right. There we go. There we go, Tactical. I am not talking about Matthew Stafford. I'm talking about Jake Fromm. Says the former Georgia Bulldogs quarterback spent the 2024 season developing on the Lions practice squad. The team made the decision to release Fromm just ahead of the 2025 NFL draft. If Kyle Allen, who was brought in to compete with Hendon Hooker, does not end up performing as expected, Detroit's front office may again look to Fromm to be a part of the practice squad. If you guys remember, if you guys remember, I was singing the Jake Fromm praises. And the only reason I was singing the Jake Fromm praises is because Hendon Hooker, is because Nate Sudfeld was so bad that I did not want him to be a part of this team in any capacity. If he wanted to be a quarterback's coach or something, a guru, that's fine. But on the field, no, sir. So when they brought Jake Fromm in, I was like, ooh, he's better than Nate Sudfeld, and they're going to cut Nate Sudfeld. And they wound up cutting Nate Sudfeld, and the rest is history. Hasn't been picked up by another team. Hasn't been sniffed by another team. They have not kicked any tires on Nate Sudfeld because he's garbage. But does Jake Fromm need to be back? Quintez Cephas says, Detroit fan, man. I think Quintez Cephas had that gambling thing. So I think he's out. He didn't have enough talent to overcome it. And I think he was actually gambling on football. So that's the difference. Think he looked better than Hooker? Here's the thing about him looking better than Hooker. Jake Fromm got in there, and it was the absolute bottom of the roster that he was playing against and with. So while he may have looked better than Hooker, remember the Pittsburgh game, they were teeing off on Hooker, and they for some reason were playing like their starting defensive line, which I couldn't understand, but they were doing it, and Hooker looked really bad that game. So, I mean, does Jake Fromm, does any backup quarterback really move the needle? That's the question. Like, if you are a backup quarterback, there shouldn't be any needle moving. If there's needle moving from a backup quarterback, then you get what we had when they drafted Hendon Hooker. You get what they did when we drafted Hendon Hooker, which was someone who most people thought, or many people thought, I was one of those people, because he was on the trajectory that he was on. It's going to be he was a Heisman hopeful. He probably would have been a finalist, top 3 pick, or top 3 finalist. He would have probably gone in the first round, no later than number 14, probably. So if you got Jake Fromm moving the needle, then there's gonna be a segment of the fan base that wants to replace Jared Goff with Jake Fromm. So I don't know. I don't know if he needs to come back. Having a developmental quarterback is good. If Hendon can't get it done this season, I don't think he'll be able to get it done on this team. All right. I'm talking about mechanics. Yeah. I mean, he didn't have the type of knocks coming in on him that Hendon Hooker did. You know, he played in a pro style offense at Georgia. Hendon Hooker played on a gimmicky one read type of offense at Tennessee. You know, it was some differences. All right. The next person on the list is not Quintez Cephas, but his name does start with a Q. Who might that be? Does anybody know? I'm pretty sure y'all know who it is. It is one Quandre Diggs. So the Rams waived Cephas on June 25th, and he is now a UFA. I was mostly kidding, but he is now available for assignment. Well, would you have rather had Cephas or Tesla? Because if we could have brought back Cephas, did we need to trade up three third-round picks to get Tesla? I don't think so. And I'm forever gonna dislike the package. The player may be great until he proves to me that he is great. Then I'm always gonna dislike the package. I'm just not gonna like it. Okay. So the next guy is Quandre Diggs. Now, we've wanted Quandre Diggs back since he was unceremoniously traded from the Detroit Lions for a bag of chips at a Faygo Pop so that he could go and join the Seattle Seahawks because, well, apparently he wasn't just going to kowtow to old Fatty Matty Patty. And Fatty Matty Patty was like, get him out of the locker room. Get him out of here. You know? Because that's what Fatty Matty Patty does. All right. The veteran safety is keeping his options open, but is eyeing a return to the Tennessee Titans to be able to play with rookie quarterback Cam Ward, who happens to be his cousin. Oh. Okay. So he's going back to the Titans. Diggs recently told, Diggs recently told reporter Kayla Anderson, I still got some people in that building that would like me to be back in Tennessee. Obviously, I'm keeping my options open. But I would love to go back. I would love to be around my cousin. The whole goal for me Let's see. All right, the whole goal for me was to play in the league with my brother. I missed that by just 1 year. I wish that we could make it work. Our family is so close, and I don't want to miss out on the opportunity to play with Cam. So, who is his brother? Does anybody know? Who is Quandre Diggs' brother that he is talking about? What up, though? Here's Johnny. If he isn't productive, Tesla will be my next Broderick Martin. Once Broderick Martin is gone, we traded too much for him not to get touched, not to contribute. I thought I said not to get touched on. So here's the thing. Here's the thing with Tesla. I think he's going to be a lightning rod throughout the season. And the reason I think he's going to be a lightning rod is just exactly what we just said here. If you are taking him for what you took him for, what is the value going to be? What is his value going to be to this team from day one? That's my question. Yes, we're talking about Isaac Tesla. I'm not calling him any type of Tron. I'm not doing that. I'm not calling him any type of Tron. You know, not vanilla, not baby, nothing, not at all. All right, now it's got a little fun exercise. Since we talked about players that could come back to the Lions this year, we're going to pick 5 players from any era. Okay? Take 5 players from any era that used to play on this football team. Or, yeah, we could say that used to play for this football team. Who would you like to see back? You got 5 players. Let me know in the chat. And while you get your answers together, I will be right back. All right, we are back. Here's Johnny says, if the Lions still had Johnson as OC, he'd use Tesla to throw the double reverse pass back and forth, losing yards. Detroit Fan Man says, Barry, and Barry because he spit hot fire. I like the way you think, Detroit Fan Man. Tactical Sports says, Chris Spillman, Megatron, Barry Sanders, Jason Hansen, and a healthy Sue. Now let's make this even more interesting. All right. For every player that you add, you must get rid of a current Lions player. For every player that you add, you must get rid of a current Lions player. Yeah, let's make it a little bit more interesting. You know I'm adding Barry. D-Mont, you got to go. Because I'm not getting rid of Jameer. So I'm adding Barry. It's going to be Barry and Jameer. That's going to be crazy. I'm adding Megatron. I'm getting rid of... I'm getting rid of Amon-Ra. I'm getting rid of Amon-Ra. Megatron and J-Mo would go nuts. I'm adding Sue. I mean, I'm getting rid of DJ Reader. I mean, is that fair? Do I get rid of? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of DJ. Okay? I'm adding Sue, getting rid of DJ. Okay, so adding Barry, getting rid of D-Mont, adding Megatron, getting rid of Amon-Ra. Adding Sue, getting rid of DJ Reader. I mean, it would be more hot takey if I said getting rid of Aleem McNeil. I'll just get rid of DJ Reader. I got two more. DeAndre Levy. Getting rid of Alex Anzalone. No. It's see, I'm trying to do, because it would be really, really easy to say I'm bringing in DeAndre and getting rid of Derek Barnes, but I'm trying to make this a little bit more difficult, right? But that's the obvious answer: bringing in DeAndre Levy, getting rid of Derek Barnes. So we got DeAndre Levy, Alex Anzalone, and Jack Campbell. I got one more. Charlie Batch. No, I'm playing. Where's TaylorMade Media? I'm bringing in my man Lim Barney and getting rid of Terrion Arnold. I'm not bringing in Lim Barney. I'm sorry. So we got what if I said something crazy? I want to put Louis Delmas on this team, but I'm not getting rid of any safety for Louis Delmas. But I could have Louis Delmas as my third safety. This is a tough one. This last one is tough. Here's Johnny says, Charlie Sanders, Laporta, bye-bye. I mean, that's yeah. because I want to stay on defense here. All right, forget it. I'm gonna go. Y'all ready? Kyle Vanden Bosch. Get rid of Marcus Davenport. So we got Aiden Hutchinson, Sue, and Kyle Vanden Bosch. Yeah. Okay. So to recap, Barry getting rid of Demont, Calvin getting rid of Amon Ra, Sue getting rid of DJ Reader, DeAndre Levy getting rid of Derek Barnes, Kyle Vanden Bosch getting rid of Marcus Davenport. That is my 5 in and out. All right. So here's Johnny says Jerry Ball, DJ Reader, bye-bye. Okay. Detroit fan man is trolling. He says Joe Fourier. Because who are you getting rid of for Joe Fourier? Here's Johnny. Okay. He says Bobby Lane, QB, Jared Goff, see ya. I can't pick Bobby Lane because I don't never seen Bobby Lane play. I've only heard stories. You know, he was the last one to win a championship with Detroit, and that was what, 57? Like that's I don't know. In the modern game, what does a 57-year-old who smoked in the huddle or whatever the case, like not 57-year-old, he would be much older than 57 years old, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how they would fare in the modern game. So T-Bone Lake says, bye Monty, Davenport, Reader, Anzalone, and J-Mo. Wow. So you would rather have Amon Ra and Calvin than Calvin and J-Mo? I mean, that's crazy field stretching work. So Khalif gonna eat underneath. Sam Laporta gonna eat underneath. Like you can send both of those dudes on 9 routes and it's a problem. I mean, who are you doubling? You're gonna have to take a safety in a corner over to Calvin. You're gonna have to take a safety in a corner over to J-Mo. You're completely disabling their pass defense because they're both gonna get over the top. Right? Or you could just go, all right, well, we're going to take a safety in a corner over to Calvin and we're going to man up with a corner on J-Mo. That's not fair. Like there's no answer to Calvin Johnson and Jameson Williams together running down the field. There's just no answer. Calvin Johnson is Megatron. He is a transformer. He's too big, strong, and fast for you to deal with. We've seen him catch balls over 3 people multiple times. And then Jameson Williams is too fast for anybody to keep up with. So you can't man up on him. It's literally a cheat code. What up, though, Mr. Morale 313? So what we are doing is we're taking 5 players from any era of Detroit Lions football, and we are putting them on this team. But the caveat is that if you take a player, you have to remove a player, and we're not being cheap. Like, I'm bringing in DeAndre Levy and I'm getting rid of Trevor Nowatzki. Like, that's not happening. We gotta be real with it. No, see, tactical over here. That's cheap. Barry for Craig Reynolds, Sue for Roderick Martin, Megatron for Tesla, and Spillman for Anzo. No. That doesn't work. Come on now. Your assignment has been rejected. You got to redo it. All-time Lions starters. He beat Jim Brown. I got you. I know he beat Jim Brown. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Like, so Jim Brown, we could think that Jim Brown would be good in any era even though he was playing against plumbers and gardeners and firefighters, you would think that he would be good in any era. I don't know if you can say a quarterback would be good in any era because of the way that the game has shifted, the way that the game is played, the speed at which the game is played. I don't know. I don't know if you could just take a quarterback and put him in any spot. I feel you. I feel what you're saying. But my point is this. If you put Bobby Lane up against a modern defense and you tell him to throw the ball 30 times a game, how does he fare? Because, as I said, they were playing against tomato cans and plumbers and gardeners and firefighters, and they weren't asked to throw the ball much. So that's what I'm saying. If you put a quarterback, and I'm not saying a running back. I believe Jim Brown in any era would be just as good. My question is, if you took a quarterback and you just from the old days, the 50s and the 40s, and you put him in today's game and asked him to operate, how would he fare? That's my question. Doak Walker, again, is a running back. Okay, Tulloch. You're putting Tulloch on the team, taking away Barnes. Dick Night Trade Lane, my guy. I did a wasn't a book report. What kind of? I did a research paper on Dick Night Train Lane when I was in 7th grade. So Night Train Lane is my guy. You know. But again, I mean, even corner like Night Train Lane, again, he's a guy that probably could have been good in any era. He was big, strong, fast corner that could cover everything. We need that now. Right? That archetype is readily available, and you see it. Kenny Stabler won a Super Bowl in 77. I get what you're saying, but I just need to see a quarterback of the old days in today's game and see how they would fare. That's my point. Yeah, Lynn Barney too, but TaylorMade Media is not here today. Hopefully he'll tap in and he'll appreciate the Lynn Barney shout out if he comes in later. All right. Tactical Sport, he resubmitted his assignment. So he says Barry for Monty, Megatron for St. Brown. So we got similar ones for the first two. Spielman for Anzo. Okay. I don't care what you say. Sue for Broderick Martin. Sue can't replace Broderick Martin. He's got to replace DJ Reader or Lee McNeil or hell, even Tyleek Williams. But I mean, I don't even know if we can put Tyleek in that must replace category. Broderick Martin is not someone you're replacing with Sue. That's just not even fair. You could replace Broderick Martin with me, and I would give you the same production that Broderick Martin gave you. What was the last one? Let me see. Spielman for Anzo was your last one. So you had Barry, Sue, Megatron, and Spielman. So you only have 4. So you need a fifth. Benny Blades for TA. Okay. We can't accept it. I mean, you could replace Broderick Martin with a tomato can. I need to see some daring Okay, who are we replacing Sue with? Okay, what is your what? But you need a fifth. You don't have five. You have four. Mr. Morale 313 is thinking. he is thinking. He is going through his Rolodex. He's like, all right, I got Tulloch for Barnes. I got Benny Blaze for TA. Okay. I just hate that I couldn't have put Delmas on the team. You know? I couldn't see I didn't do what you did tactical. I didn't put Louis Delmas for Norris Morris. I didn't do that. Let me see what you got. You said you got five. Barry, Sue, Megatron, Spillman. You have four. Unless you did Barry, Megatron, Spielman, Sue. You still have four. It says Sue for DJ Reader and Broderick Martin for free. That's fair. Yeah, you got Sue, Spielman, Barry, and Megatron. So you only have four. You need one more. Wow. T-Bone Loke says I'm changing up Barry and Billy Sims, and you're removing Gibbs and Monty. Ooh. I mean, I understand the model. You're taking the same model that we have now and you're applying it to the older fellas. So I understand that. Jason Hansen for Bates. A kicker. I mean, I did say anybody, so yeah, that's fair. Lions Fanimal, who are you? You're putting five people from the old days or any former Lions, and you're putting them on this team. But when you put them on the team, you got to remove one. You got to remove one person for each situation. For each person you add, you have to subtract from someone on the current team. All right, Billy Sims, number 20, 100. All right, so Mr. Morale has Sue for Reader, Spielman for Campbell, Averill. Oh, Averill for. Oh, I forgot about Averill. Hell, you know what? Forget it. I'm changing mine. Ziggy Ansah for Marcus Davenport. Let's go. Aiden Hutchinson, Ziggy Ansah on the other side, and Sue in the middle. Come on. We're going with our original Big Z. So you got Terrion, Benny Blaze for Terrion, Tulloch for Barnes, Sue for Reader, Spillman for Campbell, and Averill for Davenport. Okay. I like that one. Billy was good in short yardage, so Billy is for Monty, and Barry is for Gibbs. Okay. Mr. Morale 313 says all defense. I can't hate it. Barry's in, Billy's in, Melfar's out, but Melfar's ain't on the team. Melfar's not on this team. Lions Fanimal says best for Gibbs. Best was my guy, but I don't know. Blades was a safety. Maybe you're running more three safety looks. Okay. I get what you're saying, T-Bone Lokes. Blaze was a safety, so Mr. Morale 313 is trying to get around. I get around, round and round. He's trying to get around the assignment, right? So instead of going, hey, I'm gonna take Blaze and replace Kirby or Brian Branch, I'll replace TA because then we can just slide Ennis Rakestraw over there. I get what you're doing. I get what you're doing, Mr. Morale. Sneaky. You tried it. Shout out to T-Bone Lokes because he caught you, though. He caught you. Still sad for Best. Yeah, Best was... Bro, Best was exciting. He was electrifying, but just couldn't stay healthy. That Tua concussion that he suffered in college, that was it for him. It's a wrap. Melfar superstar. He was a Lions number 1 RB. FYI, I know who Melfar is. I'm just saying. You don't have to list the people that you're not putting in. I'm still waiting for that Javit Best moment from Jahmyr Gibbs. I still need him to take it 80 yards up the gut on Monday Night Football. Now, I know he took it for 77 around the edge against the Titans, but Javits was a little bit more special because it was 1, Monday Night Football, and 2, it was against the Bears. So I'm still waiting. I mean, I'm not saying that it has to happen for Gibbs, but I really would love to see it happen. Out for this team. Out for this team, this current team. So if you're going Barry in and Billy in, then out would be Gibbs and Monty. So it's only got to be out for this current team. Just wait, that kid is special. Yeah, Gibbs is my second favorite Lions running back in history. No, I did not see Billy Sims play, so I came along. When was Billy in the league? I was alive, but I didn't know what was going on. You know, I did not know what was going on at all. Barry was drafted when I was 7. Yes. So Barry is, that's why I call Barry my football father, because he is the reason I fell in love with football. Okay. So he was a rookie in 1980. How many, didn't he only play like a few seasons before he blew out his knee? Was it 4 seasons? This is going to say Mel Jennings, but I'll take Dre Bly for TA. Okay. Dre Bly for TA is yeah. I mean, if I was doing it that way, I might just say Dre Bly for Amik. Or I don't know. I guess Dre Bly and yeah, I would do Dre Bly for Amik just because nowadays you need some size at corner. I mean, it's your list. I'm just saying I would do that. Who? Billy Sims? Billy Sims didn't play 10 years. Barry Sanders? No, I'm talking about Billy Sims, not Barry Sanders. I know Barry Sanders when he played. Yeah, no. Barry. I know his stuff. You know what I'm saying? I know Barry's stuff. Billy, I didn't see play. So I think he was 1980 to what, 84, 85, 83. Some of you older gentlemen can help me out. Because if he was Al Bubba Baker is the GOAT D. See, I didn't see Al Bubba Baker either. I have seen highlights. So you going with Baker and Hutch? I can't hate on that. I'm just taking the two athletic freaks that I know. Ziggy Ansah. Ziggy Ansah would have been something special had he been able to stay healthy too. There's a lot of players that, you know, Marcus Davenport could be something special, but he can't stay healthy, you know? So for people that think I hate Marcus Davenport, I don't hate him at all. Ziggy was for What's that dude on the Patriots? What's his name? Keon. He looks about 50 in the face. he looked that way when they drafted him. I'm old, so I forgot how many seasons for Billy. Okay, Rasheem Mathis for Amik. Okay. I'm just throwing a little cheat code in like you tried to do. You know, we'll get Dre Bly in for Amik. Yeah. No, Ziggy was old looking, bro. I swear. That man looked old. But I guess that's how they do it in Ghana. But he was really good though. Yeah. We've had some players, bro, that just for whatever reason, like we said, Javed Best, Billy Sims, because I know his career got cut short, even though nobody wants to tell me, so I'll just have to Google it. All right, Billy Sims played 5 seasons. So 1980 to 1984. I was right. Yeah, I was 2. When he finished, I was 2. So when he got drafted, I wasn't here. He played a couple years. I was here, did not know what was going on. When he finished his career, I was 2. I did not know what was going on. So I had no clue. Who else did we have? We obviously also had some tragedies. We had Mike Utley. Was it Reggie Rogers or Rodney Rogers? I think it was Rodney Rogers, right? Amik for Slay? You mean Slay for Amik? I mean, with corners, it could work however, because I mean, Slay wasn't a slot guy, but if you want to bring him in and experiment and put him in the slot, or put TA in the slot and put Slay on the outside with DJ Reed, that's kind of up to you. We know we do know that Terrion played the star position at Alabama, which we said was what, a hybrid nickel safety position. So all right, we should be back. Okay, we are back. Bro, I listen. I need to get sponsored by a computer company. Hewlett Packard, Google, Dell, whoever, if you out there, Alienware. Oh yeah, Alienware for sure. Hit me up. Hit me up, and I definitely will make sure that I let everybody know how your stuff doesn't crash. That was ridiculous. All right. Um, let's say they say quit while you're ahead. Nah, because it was just like that. That's what it went back to. Like this is not possible is the last thing I said. So if you were on it, it just kept looping. I saw that on mine. I was like, why is it looping like that? Uh Let me see. Let me pop that back up. What am I running for a computer? I don't want to say on air. I don't want to say on there, but I will say it is an Asus. That's what I'll say. It might it might be a gaming laptop. It's possible that that could be what it is. Um, and I do way too much stuff on it, which even though it's not like all the other processes aren't really running like that, it's just been over the years. Looking back over the years. Shout out O Solo if you know, you know. Yeah, I've done a lot of stuff on it, so it's being bogged down. It's like my main for everything. It's my development computer. It's everything. So yeah. um. FYI, at the end of the month, we will be watching Lions Hall of Fame game. Yeah, I have to find out the actual time of it because definitely we'll be streaming it. Hopefully, it is a later afternoon game because I don't want to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I really don't. I'm not ready for that yet, bro. Do y'all know? Do y'all know at in the beginning of the season? Okay, because of the way the daylight savings works in the situation. Do y'all know at the beginning of the season, 1 o'clock games start at 3 a.m. for me? So when you see me streaming a 1 o'clock game, I probably haven't slept. Okay, I probably have not slept. I just want y'all to know this. So when the season starts and it's a 1 o'clock game and you see me, I'm sleepy because I have not slept. I'm not. There's no way I'm going to bed. You know, I can't go to. I can't go to sleep early. Like I might be able. I might be able to get into bed at 11. That's the earliest I can get into bed and actually go to sleep. I'm usually a 12-1 type of person. Okay. Sometimes 2 a.m. if I'm busy. But yeah, no, there's no way that I can go to sleep and get up for a 3 a.m. game. Um, I have an old TV that I use for my second monitor. Um, I'm anti Mac. That's just the way I was raised. I don't mm-mm, I don't deal with Mac. Um, and I know it's anti-American of me to not deal with Apple at all. But I just don't do it. I actually, the funny thing is, when it was Apple Macintosh way back in the day, and my father was at the University of Michigan. Shout out my dad, going back to school when I was 9. I used to go to the engineering labs with him, and I would play Doom on the Apple Macintosh PCs that they had. Doom and Wolfenstein. Y'all remember, if you remember Wolfenstein, shout out to you. Mr. Morale 313 says, oh, Solo is hilarious. It's your father's uncle on your mother's side. Like, I told my chick to steal your gun. I mean that literally. I told a book with the torch, like the Statue of Liberty. I've been way too much Solo for the last few weeks for me, so I got stuff fresh in my head. Yeah, wop babaloo bop, your guns don't shoot. Yep. Once you go Mac, you never go back. I'm thinking about getting a Mac Mini for home and keep my my MacBook Pro for school. Said I sock a mom like I'm driving a Mini. So, I mean, it's there. It's available. I can't do Mac, bro. Just can't. Yeah, especially for video editing. I definitely need to see, I'm working on something. I'm working on something that's going to change the video editing game. If I get it working, y'all are going to see a lot more shorts from me. Because basically, I'll tell you what I'm doing right now. I'm working on an app right now that, okay, and this is about to get real nerdy, so just bear with me. I'm working on an app right now where I could take up to 5 gigabytes. Okay, so the video is going to be up to 5 gigabytes, and I can just upload it. The AI will transcribe it. Now, once the AI transcribes it, and this has worked for me, but it was like a 20-second video, and obviously, or it was a 2-minute video, sorry. And obviously, I need more material than that, and that's been the issue that I've been having. But basically, take the video, upload it, it'll transcribe it. Then it has the words like at the bottom of the video. So you can click on a word, drag it, okay, and highlight a certain section of words, and it'll tell you how many seconds it is. So if you want to take a YouTube short, you want to make a YouTube short, click, drag 60 seconds, upload, or hit edit, and upload it to YouTube. So that's what big thing that I'm working on right now, and that's gonna help me greatly with my editing and all this other stuff. Because if y'all have noticed, I have not made a clip since May 31st. But I've been so busy with all these other projects that I'm working on and all these things that I'm doing. So that's why my editing is suffering. So at least if I can get the shorts out there, y'all can enjoy the shorts. You know what I mean? I might do like 10 shorts per video just because it'll be real fast, real easy. And probably could just do it on my phone too. So it'll have the little karaoke jumping captions and all that stuff that you see on social media these days. It's gonna have all that. So yeah, trying to get that done. So Firebase Studio. Firebase Studio. That's it. And Google Jewels. So I used Firebase Studio to compile it, and then I use Google Jewels for the debugging. So that's JULES. It's one of their Google Labs AI experiments. So you basically just hook it up to a Git repository and it asynchronously debugs your stuff. But I've been asking it specific questions to get it to do, because I wanted to understand the scope of the project. I know I'm getting nerdy. I'm losing viewers. I know. But we multifaceted these days, But that is it. Tactical, if you want to know more, just hit me up on Discord. Have a great rest of your weekend, great rest of your evening. Again, if y'all are personally lighting off any fireworks, make sure that you are safe. I don't want anybody blowing off any fingers, hands, coming back with no nubs. Then you can't do anything with it. Now, Tactical, I have not done that app. The mock draft thing, I'm keeping that till later, but I am also simultaneously working on the fantasy football app. So yeah, once I'll finish this editing one, then I'll devote the time that I have to the fantasy football one. I do want to get the fantasy football one up and running by preseason, like the real preseason. So yeah, I've got probably a couple more days where I can be fooling around with this video editing app, and then I need to kind of dive headfirst into the fantasy football app. But again, stay tuned. Stay tuned, because app developer loading right here. All right. So once again, the Motor City Cats are back at it. We came to give you stats and not static. Whatever you do, make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. And we are out and not freezing this time. Peace.